today we will talk about getting accommodation on University of Ghana campus. Yes, after getting admission, the most important or the most competitive step, which is even more competitive than getting admission, is getting accommodation on campus. So in this video, we will talk about the halls on the campus and the hostels, the differences, advantages, disadvantages, how to get accommodation. Usually it's online, so we'll talk about how to get accommodation online and how to get accommodation after not getting online accommodation, okay? So guys, before we continue with this video, please hit the subscribe button, okay? The red button down there, so that YouTube knows that the helpmate is providing you with useful information, okay? And also when you subscribe, you will not miss out on anything we upload. When something comes up, it will show up in your timeline and you may be notified, okay? So let's talk about the traditional halls. Traditional halls are those that were originally built by the university at the beginning. Okay, so the first hall was Legon Hall, and then the last of the traditional halls was Mensah Sarbah Hall. Now there are 5 of them, and it's only Volta Hall, which is all female, and Commonwealth is all male. Every hall, all the traditional halls have annexes. Annexes are the extensions of the hall. So as the population of the university grew, they needed more room, so they built extensions, which we call annexes. Okay, only Commonwealth does not have an annex as at now, and Volta Hall has an annex, but it's inside the main hall. So there is the main hall and the annex of the hall. Okay, in University of Ghana, after gaining accommodation into one particular hall, you can stay there for your entire study. So there is nothing like in, out, whatever, unlike other universities. Okay, so yes, and there are postgraduate halls too. The traditional halls, let me mention the traditional halls. There is the Volta Hall, there is Commonwealth, there is Legon Hall, Akuafo Hall, and Mensah Sarbah Hall. All the traditional halls have main and then annex. I mentioned that earlier. In the main hall, there is usually 3 people in a room. So there are 2 people in the outer, and then 1 person in the inner room. And the inner rooms are usually for continuing students. So with the outer, there is a bunk bed where 2 people are. And then when you go inside, you find 1 bed for 1 person in there. It's quite small. Okay, and then there are lockers. Should I call them wardrobes? Yes, we have those too. I think some halls, the lockers in every hall kind of differs a bit, but in general they are quite spacious. I think they should be enough. It was enough for me, so I think if it's enough for me, it should be enough for you too, right? The space in there. In the annexes, there are usually 4 people in a room, so 2 bunk beds, okay, 2 pairs of bunk beds, and there are a few 2 inner rooms, which are smaller than those, but that one too usually is for continuing students, so you can apply for that in 2nd year, 3rd year, whatever. Usually in some halls you can change your room after an academic year, so you can apply for a particular room that you want, put your name down and all that, especially in Volta Hall. All the traditional halls have shared washrooms, so there's a washroom outside. There are washrooms outside, okay. Some people have keys to particular ones so that you can share maybe 2 rooms to 1 washroom to reduce the stress and prevent strangers from using them. And with that, the good thing is that you don't clean it yourself. Okay, there are cleaners who come every day to make sure that the place is tidy for you. When the link opens for you to choose a room online, the traditional halls get taken up quickly, usually because it's the cheapest, and the traditional halls are closest to everywhere. Your lecture halls are closer to the traditional halls than the other halls, and Wi-Fi quite works well in the traditional halls. That's per my experience. So also in the traditional halls, there are dining halls. Each traditional hall has a dining hall where you can get affordable food. For example, I love Legon Hall KK. It's nice, okay, and yes, the food is usually delicious, but then you get tired of eating at one place, so you like to rotate from one traditional hall to another and then return later when you are tired of the other place. Okay, that's just a tip, by the way. So each room has a couple of tables and chairs for you to use to study. But there are also reading rooms in every hall, okay? So go and find your reading rooms. In the reading room, you can go there anytime. It's opened 24/7. There is usually air conditioning, and they are quite comfortable in the traditional hall sometimes. From Volta hall is quite comfortable. I've tried Legon hall, which is okay too. So yes, and it's mixed, okay, except for Volta hall. With Volta hall, males are not allowed to go into the reading rooms. And the library, all hostels have libraries. So each, okay, I know for the traditional halls, all the traditional halls have libraries. So you can identify that. You can use that within working hours, okay? You can usually use the libraries in the halls within working hours. And sometimes when you go to search for a book at Bound Library, you can be referred to a particular hall's library where you can find it. So you can go to your hall and read it there, which will be more convenient to you. There are tanks for water storage, but then when the tap doesn't flow for a couple of days, then they run dry. So yes, but it doesn't happen that often. I've not experienced water loss for a very long time in the hostels. When the portal opens for you to choose a room online, you realize that the traditional halls get filled up very quickly. They just vanish because they are less expensive and they are close to everywhere. Okay, who doesn't want that? But they also have their disadvantages, like the sharing of the washroom, and they are not as comfortable or as good looking as what we are moving next to. So we are moving next to the diaspora. Okay, diaspora means dispersed. You all know that, right? But I think it's called that because of the distance between the diaspora and the main campus.